So to summarize, let's take a shot at summarizing. See, how does I sees it? In all of history, for many centuries, human beings, that's our names, apparently, has been trying to understand life, trying to discover something, you know, vital, very valuable. Why am I here? Who am I? And all that needful, inquiring conclusions to something that appears to be incredibly fantastical, mystical, magical, diverse. And there are no contradictions in life when life, if it um, began. You see, the mind has created the contradictions. But every one that's been looking, including the Egyptians, the Greek, Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, Newton, all through the centuries, philosophers, scientists, saints, monks, warriors, chiefs, and everyday ordinary people have been following the same path. The Inquisition, I need a quest. And it's very clear after experiencing this truth that all are talking about the same thing. Different cultures, different languages, different generations, different communication methods, tools, practices, time, different times, different thoughts, different concepts, different ideas. All is talking about the same thing. And that's what every single one of us, unless your mind is too knowledgeable to get it, because knowledge can be a detraction. It can it go against you. You see. But what are we all talking about? What have we all discovered? What is the conclusion? What is the actual truth about all of this? And of course, it's the whole. Everything is one whole. And in our way of just being whole, a type of other needs, whether it's through boredom, whether it's through fortune, ability, whether it's through a new evolutionary mind, a new state of consciousness, a new way, a new type of understanding, we have managed to break up the whole. And it's so difficult now for those that have not truly experienced this truth, because there's so much obstacles in the way. There's so much parts of the whole, so much segments. In fact, the segments have become atoms, molecules. But even in the breaking up, even in the dissecting, even in that whole destruction of the whole, the atom in a molecule is the, whatever the smallest one is, I don't know. It's taking you back to the understanding of what we are, some subatomic particle, one point, one little intricate thing is appearing here as all of this, you see. You can look at it scientifically faster than the speed of light. This it's creating matter, solid matter, dark matter, light matter, all kinds of matter, you see, and all of this is what we are. But you say, well, I'm a part of the whole. Well, that's not true. You are the whole. You see, the truth is far too simple for the human mind, the knowledgeable mind, the scientific mind, the religious mind, the educational mind, the person mind, the accepting of what is language mind, the identification mind. All these minds are little breakups, little dissections of what we truly are and what we know. We are whole awareness, whole intelligence, whole wisdom. But these three are not separate things. They are the truth in what we are, you see. So a very good example is how we break it up is when the builder or the developer develops a housing site. I have developed a housing site, and this housing site is part of this area, and this area is part of this country, and this country is part of this earth, and this earth is part of this universe, and this universe is part of this galaxy, and this galaxy is part of this cosmos, and this cosmos is part of the infinite. So the housing site has insignificantly been brought down to some very, very small, minute factor of what is taking place. And a verbal, easy way to understand, when the developer says life, instead of saying I created this housing site, says life has built life. Very simple. Life has built life. And who will be living in this life? And what was it made from? Life. The dissecting mind says it's built with the materials of life, and the people will live in it. And the community will benefit from it. Life will benefit from life, you see. It's far too mundane, you see. The human mind, it really gets, the ego mind gets really, really angry. No. But the ego cannot disprove it, you see. It cannot disprove it. So the ego thing that thinks it's separate and has a language and identification and everything will live its life as a part of the whole. Now, a part of the whole is not fully whole. You cannot be fully whole. So when you say everything is one, everything is as it is, you're talking about the universe, you're talking about your mind, you're talking about the trees, all the individual components, all the things that are going on, all the thoughts, all the ideas is the same, you see, one whole. The Vedantas, they try and sum it up by saying self. The Buddhists, emptiness. The Christians, the Catholics, maybe God. But whatever we are, in our minds, and what we try and work out, we're breaking our way out of the whole that we already are, you see. So When the mind looks at it and say, well, if all human beings get together, we'll be whole. No, that's not true. Every human being is already whole. You see? You don't have to form some sort of community, some sort of, world unification to be whole. The whole idea is to understand that even the atom, the molecule, is whole. It incorporates the universe. It incorporates every little component, every part that you think exists. So if you look at all history, some have called it God, some have called it Source, some have called it the light, some have called it Brahman, whatever religion. But the whole infinite self, or the whole infinite consciousness, is what you are. You see, when you say you have to work your way up from human consciousness to God consciousness, that's a thought. You're already God consciousness, if you think that the whole is God. But it's so mundane, you see. What are we going to do? We've already created this division. We've already created this world of parts, sections, segments, particles, atoms, all that stuff. How can we get back into it, you see? That's why so many have to experience awakening and enlightenment to say, whoa, why are you complicating things? And what is speaking? The whole is speaking to the whole. In our human world, we say life is speaking to life. If it's God speaking to me, it's life, God living as me living. Is there a difference between living, you see? There may be a difference in what we are energetically appearing as, flesh and bone and blood and all that names that we've given ourselves, all that ridiculous ideas that we are human and we are special. And of course, everything is one. And we don't even accept it scientifically. Scientists don't accept it either. You can't have the planet without the atmosphere. You can't have the atmosphere without the universe, the galaxies. You can't have the water without the fire. You can't have the ethereal without the earth. You can't have form without space. You see, you can't have this without that. So everything is vital. So when the body dies, its life continues to living, continues as a whole. Not a part of it is dead, you see. You say, oh, well, that part is gone. No. There's no decrease and no increase. There is only whole. So you move into another aspect of the whole that you are. But there's no transition. It just is. Same thing. The family can't see the body. Everything is just the matter, the energy, the speed of the particle has moved in another direction and you've moved somewhere else. But you're not moving anywhere detracting from what you are or extracting from what you are or interacting from what you are. There may be some mind that changes the frequency of what it thinks. If it gives birth to to another thinker or to just pure bliss. Already pure bliss. The device is pure bliss. The finger is pure bliss. When you say bliss, you have an idea of wow. No, bliss. Just transcendental, pure, loving being as it is consciousness. There's no mind when you've truly realized the simple. When you find it difficult to complicate things. What are you doing? Your partner says, what are you doing? And you're making a cup of tea. You don't say, life is Life is living. Life is living. You say, now I'm making a cup of tea. The kettle is living, the water is living, the cup is living, the sugar and milk that you put in your tea is living. You are living, so living is just living. You see, life is just being life. When you create a painting, you don't stand in the, in the art exhibition hall and say, give us an insight on your work. Life is creating its life. Life is creating life. The painting is creating me. I am creating the painting. The paint is creating. Everything is creating. But you don't even use the word creating. You just say life made life. You don't get a round of applause for that. You don't get special recognition. In fact, people drink their glass of wine and say, let's get the hell out of here. This one's nuts. You see? It's the human mind that is nuts. Because we're trying to make, we're trying to break the nut out of the shell. When the nut is encased within the shell. See? The shell is encased within the planet. The planet is encased within the universe. The universe is encased within the galaxy. The galaxy is encased within the cosmos. What can be separate? Show me something that is separate, that can live independently as a part. So when the body goes, it doesn't die. When the mind goes, it doesn't die. It continues to be wholesome. The continuation of wholesome. You see, that's why we're looking at holograms, H-O-L-E, that whole, and holistic ways. Let's not look at the diagnosis of why the finger is growing squint. Let's look at the whole aspect of what this human, how is your ears? They're looking, but even looking at the ears in comparison to the finger, you're breaking it down. You see, holistic means you don't understand what division and parts is. You treat everything as the same incredible, majestical life that it is, consciousness that it is. And we will continue to look at the whole. Ramana Maharshi, neti. Why? Why? No, he's different, He's looking at spirituality. He's looking at a different way. No. He's denying any part, any segment, any thought, any individual aspect that says out of the whole. Not this. Not this. Not this. It's the same. You can train your mind. You can train your mind to be whole, but you won't have the experience of what you truly are. This super intelligent, super wise, super awareness. You can say to the mind, I'm not going to call it the tree and the sky and the earth and the painting and the curtains and the window and the unit and the heater and the laptop and the mirror and the bed. I'm not going to call all these things. I'm just going to say everything is whole. And you can practice, you can meditate and everything. And then you go through your house to your wife and your wife says, or your husband says, have you made the bed? What? Did you make your bed? Why are you doing this to me? I'm trying to unify everything. I'm trying to make everything uniform. She says, well, make something uniform somewhere else because I'm leaving you. I can't stand living with someone like this. Whole. You're a person. The human mind will always try and complicate things. You see, that's a complication. Life is life. No. Life is full of this, hundreds and hundreds. And the brain is storing all this information. It's like the pincushion. When the pincushion has no pins in it, it feels no pain. It's not stifled. It's not full. It's not being pierced every day. It's free. It's liberated. It's a cushion. You see? So the mind, the brain, fills itself with names and words and identities and all that stuff. And that's, no one is exempt. You see, I still know what a bed is. But when you say, what is bed? Life. Now, what's it made of? Wood, but wood is life. Why are you making so much into something? I know I'm trying to make something out of something, you know. I don't go to my bed and I don't get out of my bed. All is part of the same thing. All is life. All is living. All is one. All is whole. And there's no answer, you see, to what you are, apart from whole. One infinite whole moment. There's no answer. Everything simply is. You have to stop at is, you see, because someone will say, is what? What are you doing with your life? I just is. Is what? Is what? I is what? What? Are you happy? Are you angry? Are you a man? Are you a woman? You are what? I is. And in that isness, the whole comes alive. The whole really starts living, and your intelligence bursts from your every molecule and atom from your body. But you can't put it into a practice of being the best painter, because you say, okay, because I'm going to have to go into the hall and say, this is my paintings. I don't understand what I'm speaking about, you know. It's just a free life. Everything is a free life. And all your life that you've been looking for freedom, and you can't find it because the head is saying, no, you can't find it. You have to do this, you have to do that, you do everything, you have to do it in this way. You have to prove, you have to justify, you have to be successful, you have to be a great person, you have to be kind, you have to be compassionate, you have to stop doing this, you have to continue to do that, you have to follow this, you have to be there, you have to, all that stuff, you see? It's painful. It's painful, it just is. The new you is just saying, well, I don't fit into this world of names and languages and forms and ideas and concepts and thoughts and interests and, you know, judgment and analysis and measurement. I don't fit in. I'm not even measuring the whole. I'm not even measuring. I'm not even saying it's infinite. It simply is. The whole simply is. And you can say, I am that. I am. But when you say I am that I am, it means I'm separate and I'm moving into something else. No, I am already that. I is already that. You see? There's no me in that. There is just that I am. The whole one moment. I have nothing else to say. Nothing else to say, because the more you speak, the more you feel obligated to saying something separate, something a part of life. What is a part of life? Life is whole. And that's all you have to know. You become that feather just blowing around. But you're not blowing separately from the whole. The whole is the feather. The whole is the whole point. It just blows around. It flows within itself. I am flowing within myself. That's as far as you can go to say about an individual. So nothing else to say, really, because it's not interesting. It's not going to enhance your mind. It's going to detract from your mind, because, like I say, truth is so simple. It's so simple that mind will never get it. Ego will never, ever, ever understand it. That's why we have to remove ego. That's why Eckhart Tolle and all the saints you can't take one. that has enhanced ego as the most important thing. It's a part of the whole. You see? So when you only look at your ego self, you are being that part. You're not being whole. Words fail me. Words fail this life that can explain what's taking place. Words fail. Languages fail. Ideas, concepts, thoughts, they fail to actually replicate what this truth truly is. Truth is. Babaji's book says it in 2 words. Truth is. And if you want to say outwardly that you understand it, you add on another line. Truth is. And your reply is, as it is. Truth is as it is. You won't get that. I know, it's okay. I love you anyway. Namaste and have a great life.